Hello and welcome. We are live in Cairo, Egypt for the second day of the BAL-Africa League, and we have two games coming up for you here at the Hassan Mustafa Arena. We start with two familiar teams, the Cape Town Tigers and SLAC representing South Africa and Guinea-Conakry. SLAC from Guinea-Conakry, six-time League 1 winners, of course, and this is the starting lineups for tonight's encounter. Q, over to you.
Well, it's a stacked starting lineup for both sides. Oregbo and Bearfield taking up that backcourt for SLAC. Was Buzor comes on in, and the young Mara alongside Miller Jr. going to shore up the front court. That is experienced. Miller Jr. is a minutes-heavy power forward who's going to be the engine of the team. On the other side, Evans Ganapamo, the gunman, the shooter, the guy that you got to look out for. Benije alongside debutant Joshua Hall. Lebisa Selepe gets a start in this year's edition, and Captain Peter Prinsloo alongside. Interesting lineups for both these teams, and should be a great battle. Our former national team coach Flosh Ngwenya led the team through the qualifiers, got them into the BAL-Africa League, and now it's the coach has his turn to try and take over. Great coaching battle, great battle on the floor.
And it is, of course, as we can see, the Cape Town Tigers who pick up the possession from tip-off, and they'll be trying to find those points. Prinsloo trying to drop it in. That's a beautiful move in the paint there for the big man, Peter Prinsloo, who gets this show off the road.
Well, oversized, 6'10", going up against 6'8". Miller, he gets the hook shot up, and he scores the first bucket.
Cedric Bearfield, Oklahoma City Blue. And we talked about Dane Miller Jr., how important he's going to be, but Selepe manages to get hold of possession, and it's the Tigers who go growling right from the very start. Picked up by that man, Givenije, and loss of possession.
First turnover, nice work defensively for SLAC, getting a hand on Miller Jr.
Bearfield gets the ball out, and it's a chance for Nwabuzor. Finally, the shot comes in, and it's a beautiful shot. Egbu, the Nigerian, with a beautiful, beautiful long-range shot there to put 3 points up on the scoreboard, Q.
Left wide open, Egbu, and he gets his first bucket, first three-pointer for SLAC.
Is Josh Hall. Of course, one of the players that we'll keep our eyes on. He just, oh, that's beautifully done, isn't it, from the American. Bit of experience as well, that man.
Well, one of two players that have played some court time in the NBA. Josh Hall gets his first bucket, announces his arrival in the BAL-Africa League.
Yeah, 21 matches playing for Oklahoma, of course. And they will regain possession here, SLAC. You can see that three-pointer there once again, Q.
Yeah, wide open. A great find, and he knocks it down without any hesitation.
SLAC Warriors about to get hold of the ball, logically, and just waiting patiently. Is it There's Prinsloo's little the hook over the top, beautifully done. He's a lot leaner this season, isn't he? He's lost a few pounds, looking very sharp.
Well, he's going to have a big role to play. They generally use him for 30-plus minutes on the floor, and Prinsloo inside out. And we're waiting here just to find out exactly what the delay is on the floor.
Yeah, it's just an issue with the scoreboard. They're working on it, the table officials.
Right, okay, that makes sense. And once we get that sorted, we'll get back on track. There you can see the man that we just mentioned, Rashid Hazard, the 46-year-old, and a former New York Knicks. It was part of the New York Knicks setup, of course, NBA G League with Ignite. And there we are, we've got the 12-second. Well, I think it's the main scoreboard that we're looking at the moment, I think, Usher. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting just to have that new staff come in. And in fact, we've got two different scenarios. So Cape Town Tigers, they've got new staff, of course, coming in. But for SLAC, we know that they've got a coach that's been there for of course, all of the time that they spent with the BAL and he's part of the Guinean national team setup.
Yeah, I think you perfectly framed it, Robbie. You've got one team that's acquired new players, and Zaire Wade comes in as well alongside Josh Hall to try and shore up the team. They've got a couple new signings. There was some Kelotele on the bench for this Cape Town Tigers team. But on the other side, in terms of SLAC, Coach Zicevic has 6 players that play on the Guinea national team, and he's shored up his team with the signing of Oriegbo and Bearfield, and he's gonna try and rely again on the central frame of Dane Miller Jr. to try and get them in. And Wabuzor was also a nice pickup for SLAC. So they match up quite interestingly because there's a lot of experience, a lot of scoring. The signings do help them on the interior and exterior, and so it should be, on paper at least, a very, very good battle. Looks like they have finally sorted the scoreboard, or they're getting closer and closer to it.
They are indeed. And I think, Usher, we're going to go straight over to you because you can give us an update, but also, you know, you'll pick up information wherever you go. I mean, you know, that's the way that you do. Knowledge is key, right?
Yes, absolutely. I just want to use this opportunity to introduce the officials tonight. The crew chief, obviously, is Tyler Markovic from the USA, originally from Croatia. And Kingsley Ojeburu brings so much experience on the African continent from Nigeria. And Aya Ahmed, Egyptian. She's been to Afrobasket. She's been to a couple of youth tournaments and is going to the Youth Edge World Cup later this summer. Big moment for her as a referee and also for Egyptians.
Yeah, thank you very much, Usher. That's good information and wonderful to see, of course. And they've all got great characters as well. There's a whole mix of different characters within the officials that we've got to know quite well. This is great work from Hall. Look what he does, but he can't get it off the glass and in. But it's good work. The way that he tussles and hassles inside of the paint basically underlines his importance for the Tigers.
Well, Mara is tasked with trying to guard Hall, and they do match up well physically. That's the first time we've seen them just tussle for the score, and he picks up his first foul.
Yeah, but the thing is that, you know, he's also just a 19-year-old. And I think that's something we can look at is the age of a lot of these players in this SLAC team. We've got 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. There's a lot of young, you know, blood within this SLAC team, fully capable of playing, you know, big games. But of course, you know, they have to be very mature when they're playing against players of great experience.
And that's where a coach can come and help. And a lot of confidence being shown by Coach Zicevic and making sure that the young 19-year-old Mara gets on the floor and can just get some confidence. But also it's trusting his ability to really compete in a matchup.
Absolutely. Bearfield picks up possession. Oh, it's Selepe who just gets his hands to it. Made safe, or has it. Oh, that's good work. And there is a foul that's been committed over
8-second call.
It is. You're absolutely right.
So that's going to be Tigers basketball. Great defensive play.
It's really good work, wasn't it, from Selepe, just doing really... Lebesa Selepe working really hard to make sure that possession is for the Tigers. Picked up by Prinsloo. No score. They go again. Let off the hook. Bit nervy the start. I mean, you know, with obviously the, you know, the scoreboard situation. Just given a couple of minutes. And now it's starting to calm down. Look at that. That is sensational from Cedric Bearfield.
Well, sizing him up, and on the jabs there, Bearfield knocks down the second 3-ball of this one for SLAC.
Hall just driving straight into Mara. You talked about that matchup, and Mara going down quite hard, but he's back up on his feet. They'll just get possession back. In fact, the Tigers, no foul. Prinsloo, Selepe. Oh, it's nearly intercepted, nearly stolen from the outstretched hands of Josh Hall.
Yeah, the tension is really tangible on the floor. Both teams just trying to find some comfort and some rhythm in the offense, none present on either side yet.
Yeah, still seeing Evans Ganapamo of Central African Republic, one of the standout players for the Tigers last season, in season 2. Hasn't had too much possession just yet. We're expecting a little bit more from him. At the same time, you've got to look at the defensive game that they're actually playing and just holding it quite tight as we see the officials just going over to the table.
Well, then it's confirmation of the second foul on Mara. That was what we're waiting for, just so Mara picks up the second foul, because that was a blocking foul called on the previous possession.
On Hall. Here we go. Talk of the Devil, Ganapamo, just a favor, and that's beautifully done. And an exceptional score there for Evans Ganapamo.
It's like they were listening in on your conversation. Got an isolation for Ganapamo, and he was able to exploit the matchup.
Good defensive rebound as well from Ganapamo. He's hearing the voices, he really is, as we hit 6:35 seconds left in the first quarter. Another beautiful basket. You know, his athleticism and his what he does in the air is just exceptional.
He makes scoring look easy, and that really is an art.
Second biter, second chance, third chance. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make another mistake. Excellent score there from Wabazur, just showing that perseverance pays.
Hassel points, and they're really tenacious inside the paint.
Prinsloo. Picked up by Hall. Hall waits. Prinsloo's there, just giving him a little bit of space if possible. Hall is, well, dispossessed, just tries to rise up there, but it's a little bit too late. And there's Miller. Miller! Oh, that is sensational. Teasing the defense and going in for the drive and the dunk.
Well, they turn defense into offense. That's great work on the pick and roll coverage. They force a steal, and they get up on the other end. It was Miller time.
And this is a little bit problematic because Mara looks like he's picked up his third foul in the space of 5 minutes, as we see that exceptional score.
Yeah, Miller gets up, and just on the other side, that's Wabazur, who's right there, and finished off that play as well. Mara's going to have to go off with these 3 fouls.
I don't want to tread on your toes. I know that you've got big feet, but I'm not going to tread on your toes. I promise you that. Yeah, 5:39. That's a little bit concerning, that is. And here is Cape Town going for more points. It's a long-range shot from downtown. It doesn't fall on that occasion, as we see Samkelo Sele coming on. A couple of changes. Defensively, and look at that, it is down, and that's the response there. Sele just making sure that that was going in a big way.
Very tight margins on the offensive end, but that ball falls favorably, and Sele gets his first bucket of the Basketball Africa League. There's just so much tension on the floor. The game is tight at tempo, Robbie. There's very little to choose between the two teams.
No, it's very, very level, if you can say that, but really good work. We're going to take a small break after that fine dunk there coming from Samkelo Sele. Welcome back to the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall. We're here in Cairo, and we're all level, shaky, nervy, call it what you like. There's a little bit of tension in the air. Q, we can see that the Cape Town Tigers have got some great players, but that pass there is just offered it for Miller, and Miller does it again. Another big, big slam dunk extraordinaire.
Well, they've done a great job of coverage on Josh Hall so far. They've forced turnovers. That's their 10th point from a turnover, and they're turning defense into offense quite exquisitely right now. SLAC.
And just a little slip there from Sele, goes into the paint, tries to turn, and there's the chance to, he gets the ball back, a little bit lucky. Look at that. Good work from Prinsloo. Prinsloo with the rebound, does the business big time, just in the nick of time.
That was great hustle from the Cape Town Tigers on the offensive end, as Prinsloo, right place, right time.
Time to get a reaction from Usher after that little timeout. Usher, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just listening into Coach Jelko. Just, you know, of course it's been animated in the game. You can see that on the screen. But just telling the players, just, you know, pass that ball, make sure you get the right options. But really also drive into the paint and ask, you know, the Cape Town Tigers the right questions. They know that they are the smaller team in terms of size. And let's see if they can execute against, you know, the Cape Town Tigers, who look to be big in that paint, especially when you have Peter in there trying to use his size.
We're at 12 points apiece. Thanks very much, Asha. Oh, there's a bit of contact in the face there from Ghana Pamo, but it was actually a charge going through from Bearfield. Look at this, offensive.
Well, I think they called it on the screen, and just coming across on the cover screen is Conde, and he gets the foul. And just previously, another foul call on Ghana Pamo as he tried to clear out with his arm. The referee's just calling it tight again. And we saw this happen yesterday in that opening fixture in the Ahly game.
Picked up by Tunisia. Back to Ghana Pamo. Ghana Pamo has options out wide. Sele's there, but he's still going by himself. He is so good at that, but it doesn't fall on this occasion. A little bit of a scramble and a hustle. Conde gets the ball out wide, and there's a chance for SLAC to try and respond once again into the paint. Oh, the pass is a good one, and they get the points as well.
Well, Conde creates the space and goes up and through the arms of Peter Prinsloo, and he gets the bucket, and you're going to get a chance for a three-point play.
And this is another fine example of the kinetic energy and the synergy between these players, because when you've got these Guinea players, they play together in the national team. They're coached by that guy who's just a few meters away from them. So there's some really good communication between these players.
We haven't seen either team get into the offense yet. It's just a lot of individual basketball at this point, and they really, I don't know if you credit the defense yet or you credit the nerves, just the first game in the NAL conference, but I think we'll see the game open up as the game develops.
You know, there was something that I had a really nice chat with Zeljko Zečević, who we saw at the Combine. He was one of the coaches who was up there with Liz Mills and a couple of the others. You know, just trying to find some of those players to come into this squad so that they could actually bolster it a little bit. And he's saying, well, finally, we don't have a big. You know, we don't have that big player like some of the teams here in the NAL conference, so we've got to play fast. We've got to go looking for the ball around the outside. And that is an absolute monster score coming in from that man, Senati Sibagnoni.
A really great drop-off pass from Wade, finds Sibagnoni in space, and he stuffs it home with two.
And a loss of possession at the other end. And sometimes those are the key scores that can trigger a turnaround and a change.
Well, you just have a look. It's the pass from Wade, the no-look pass into space. That's how you drop it on a dime. And Sibagnoni, right place, right time, two-hand hammer.
So Wade getting his first seconds and minutes on the court in this BAL. 21 years of age. The American, of course, as we know. Long-range shot that doesn't fall, and they go again with Bearfield picking the possession. Long-range 3 points. Bearfield from downfield going upfield and in.
Second connection from long range. Bearfield is so locked in, and that shot is pretty as a picture.
And there's Ghana Pamo trying to go for his mid-range shot in the paint, and another chance coming from the Nigerian this time, who's unable to find his range. And there's another chance off the glass, picked up by Bearfield. Bearfield's on a move. Unconventional pass down into the corner. They all function in the same way, don't they? Bearfield picks it up, waiting for a little bit of movement, a little bit of protection. He'll go again, surely not. Oh, this time it just hits the metal, made safe into the hands of Sele. Way down in the corner. Here he goes, here he goes. This time it's just a little bit too short for the American. That's stunning, stunning play, it really is. You can just see how dangerous it is. This time it's Iro Egbu with a beautiful, beautiful score there.
The backcourt of SLAC winning right now. Iro Egbu and Bearfield have been really clinical with ball in hand, and that's a great finish.
Even EJ just going on a little wander down on that far side and draws the foul. And that means that it's for Fana, I think, with the foul.
Yeah, it's the leg kicked out, and that's going to be the 5th team foul. And so it'll send Mike Benajay to the free throw line. Benajay is 67% free throw shooter in the road to the Basketball Africa League. That happened in South Africa, so he wants to get that just a little bit higher.
Cape Town Tigers on a quest to conquer the continent and the BAL, of course. It was originally a 5-year quest. I don't know, I think they're going to be around for a long time, but you know, if they play their basketball right and they make the right decisions and they recruit, anything's possible for the Tigers. Raphael Edwards, the man behind it, along with the other business partners involved, as we see another wonderful dance. This is an excellent play again. And you can see that Nwabuzor is the player this time with a little wander, another Nigerian, just like Iroegbu.
Keep finding ways and pathways inside.
But it's the variety of players who are conjuring up different plays as well, and get there. Everybody wants to, you know, jump on the bandwagon queue.
Well, Miller Jr. is having a great defensive quarter for SLAC. He's just about everywhere. And that shot doesn't go, but wow, what a great quarter for SLAC on the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. 22-16, and some interesting basketball that's being played here. Cedric Bearfield top scoring with 6 points so far as we go into the break. 22-16, SLAC leading Cape Town Tigers. Welcome back to the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall, and 22-16 at the end of the first quarter. SLAC of Guinea-Conakry with a 6-point lead over the Cape Town Tigers. And it's this man here who's been pretty outstanding, Cedric Bearfield, in a very nervy first quarter, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he looked just so relaxed from the three-point line. And if you are wondering what his capability is from long range, he really gave you an indication. 2 wonderful three-point shots from downtown, and Bearfield will take just a little break. He played 9 minutes and 18 seconds in that first quarter for his 6 points.
Yeah, his dad was a point guard for in San Diego, of course. Played for Oklahoma City Blue in the G League, and his mother from the Philippines. And he was born in California, and now he's playing in the BAL. You know, I love just the mix and the journeys that all of these players have taken to get where they are. Some of the stories are quite incredible. Conde trying to move really well in the paint, and finally the pass and the shot don't fall, and Nwabuzor unable to sink the points on that occasion. Silly looks for options. Shot clock down to 5. Got to make an inroad. Got to go for it now. Into the paint, and an opportunity there, but the shot's just not good enough. Doesn't fall there for Sibanyoni on that occasion.
Well, they go deep into the shot clock on that possession. Again, great defense from the SLAC team.
Miller going high this time, draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line, and they'll have a chance to just nudge up their point tally.
Well, Fofana is in, but that was Miller Jr. again. Yeah, and you just start to understand his value. He doesn't rest much.
Right.
Like I said, he played 37 minutes a game, but it's not only what you see on the stat sheet. He's pretty much everywhere on the floor, and he's used to playing heavy minutes. He can contribute offensively, but he is also their defensive anchor.
Yeah, Usher it just covers all of the floor as well, in a very positive way. She's everywhere. Usher, what have you got for us? You've got something, because you were listening in from those after the first break.
Yeah, absolutely. Just listening in to Coach Rashid Azad, just emphasizing to the Cape Town Tigers that they need to do what they've been doing in practice, play this game and play it towards from a defense point of view. Yes, they can win the game, but not necessarily from an offensive point of view. They need to stop the SLAC side from getting those points in transition, and let's see if they can execute that as SLAC have the ball now.
Hall unable to sink that. Thanks very much, Asha. And another chance for SLAC to score. Zaire Wade picks the ball up and goes forward, goes himself. Oh, a lovely, soft, velvety touch there from Wade.
Nice read by Wade. He looked at his options. The defense didn't approach him, and he took what was given to him.
First point in the BAL for Zaire Wade. And the response is very slick. Usiro Egbu, the Nigerian.
Back and forth we go, and they still haven't found no ways to close down this backcourt from SLAC.
And the rebound just not good enough. I think they'll get possession back, Cape Town.
It looked like there was the last touch from a white player. And another look at Wade as he gets inside for his first two in the BAL-Africa League.
And a SLAC have called a timeout here, as you can see. They want to just assess the situation. And I think it's all about just stopping Cape Town Tigers from finding some kind of flow.
One thing they did outstandingly well was disrupted the Cape Town Tigers offense. They looked disjointed in the first quarter. They were not allowed to pass the ball freely and took them late into the shot clock. They don't want confidence to happen on the Cape Town Tigers side at all.
25-18, we'll take a small break, we'll be back. Welcome back to Cairo, and 25-18, 8:10 left on the clock after that little timeout from SLAC. The SLAC timeout called. Asha, what was the reason behind that timeout called from Zeljko Zečević?
The emphasis, even from Coach Zeljko, is that they need to play defense. They feel that the Cape Town Tigers are having it very easy in the paint and just getting those 2 points, especially from Zaire Wade. Let's see if they can execute on this possession.
I think Asha's wired up to Coach Zeljko Zečević, because all of that information is just hot off the press, the way that we like it. Thank you, Asha. There's Miller trying to get those points. It's been made safe, and Wade picks it up, and Cape Town Tigers go again down in the corner and picked up with an opportunity to try and score. Sele, big shot coming in. That's a beautiful 3-pointer, just on the line, but just on the right side of the line.
Bokele is a scorer, and he can shoot it at a high clip from the outside. He finds some time and space and knocks one down. And not much needed 3 for the Tigers.
And at the other side, it's a beautiful Uchenna Oregbu 3-pointer to respond in emphatic fashion.
First player into double figures, Oregbu, as he knocks down a long-range jumper of his own.
Hall going on a drive there down the corridor. Knocked over. Iroegbu is the player.
Well, just another look at that great work defensively and marginal calls that happen on the floor. It's so tough being a referee out in this league.
They do a fantastic job. Hall picks the ball up, and here he is, he's just moving slowly but surely, and it's a very sneaky move, isn't it? Creeping in there until finally he just releases himself and scores the 2-pointer.
It's all about the details, small margins. He manages to get that just by the defense, but a much needed score again.
That's a wonderful pass. Look at that, stay out. But it is going to be a foul that goes, I think, against Ganapamo. Is that correct?
Well, I think they called on Binege inside the paint, and he picks up the foul, and it will be a shot for Konde at the free throw line.
Yeah, good call.
Second foul on Mike Binege.
Konde up to 4 points. It's a 29-23 lead. And we do have a change. Ganapamo comes back on, for Mike Binege.
Well, Konde is one of those international players for Guinea, and he was out at AfroBasket in 2021, and a vital part of this chemistry that you see occurring on the floor.
30-23, 7-point advantage, and 12 of the points for SLAC have been scored in the paint. Fast break points, some of them as well. There's the opportunity there to try and drop in the 2. And at the other end, look what's happening. Is there, well, Ganapano, I think, is the Ganapano is the player, just got a little trip and a touch. He puts his hand up, he knows that there was contact. Hopefully Konde's going to be okay. It's accidental.
inadvertent contact, trying to run across, position himself to try and get the block, and then creates the contact, and is going to send Nwabuzor to the free throw line as well. Now, that's the third team foul for the Cape Town Tigers, and they'll just have to keep a lookout, so they will not in the act of shooting, so it'll have to go out on the sideline.
Peter Prinsloo coming back onto the court to replace, of course, Sinati Tsibagnoni.
Looking and searching for rotations, both coaches at this point.
We saw Ahly victorious, of course, in their opener against Beira yesterday, the first of 15 games. Long-range shot that doesn't fall on this occasion for Iro Regbu, but it's been picked up by Nwabuzor. Here is Wade puts it up for the alley-oop. It doesn't happen, though, on this occasion for Josh Hall. And at the other end, you can see the danger. That is perfectly dumped in there by Nwabuzor of Nigeria.
They know how to capitalize on turnovers. That's another one in that points column. That's the 12th point from turnovers. SLAC doing a great job of converting their defense into offense.
Lovely spin and pirouette. Wade picks it up, made safe. 7 seconds. Silly turns, tries to get it in. Prinsloo can't get the rebound. Taken up the other end, and a quick chase. Of course, Miller is the player who's got those very fast hands. Long-range shot coming in over on the left-hand side. Nwabuzor unable to sink it. Silly. There's the mid-range two, and it's a beautiful score as well. 32-35. They're keeping it at 7, not letting them move away too much.
Yeah, very interesting watching the power dynamic between Hall, Kanapamo, and Pele in terms of who takes the shot and where the offense is run from.
I thought you were going to say the geopolitics there, Q. Fofana unable to get his arms around and entangle himself from the thicket. And that is a penalty, a foul that's going against him.
Well, you can hear the core come in. Hall splits the defense. They force the foul on the floor. And referees conferring, a little bit of confusion on the floor. And there was no timeout granted, so the players will have to come back in, although the call was made. But everything a little bit foggy.
Yeah, you can see Zeljko Zečević, who's trying to get his players to really just be very, to not be too slack and to be very tight.
Well, it's been a very tight game nonetheless, of Guinea, Conakry, SLAC holding on to their significant lead. Cape Town Tigers have got lots of work to do.
32-25. So as the call is, of course, by the Cape Town Tigers, and you know, they'll try and understand what's going on here. They'll get possession back, but I think it was all about, you know, how they're going to just be a little bit more disciplined. Because to be honest with you, the fouls that they've been giving away have been allowing SLAC to go to the free throw line. It's not been an ideal situation, and the turnovers, of course, you know, the count is getting quite high as well.
But even if the turnover count doesn't reflect on the stat sheet, they've only had 6 turnovers, but of those 6 turnovers, they managed to pick up 12 points already. That's been one of the points of emphasis. They have been great converting the turnovers into points, and it's probably the primary reason why SLAC find themselves in this great position. They're playing some really solid defense. They're making Cape Town Tigers very uncomfortable on the offensive end, and if they keep up this great intensity, I think it's going to be tough going. And Miller Jr., again, might not be leading on the stat sheet in any way, but he's got 5 points and 2 of 3 from the field. His 3 rebounds. But he stayed on the floor the entire time. Yeah, let's have a look at this. You know, just a little bit of provocation, and then he goes for the drive. The acceleration, it's the sign of a great offensive player, isn't it? You know, you had to tease the defense, and then you just move away and you go yourself. You know, it's great. 2 wide open buckets for his 2 field goals that come above the rim.
All taken down into the corner by Zaya Wade. We get going, 4:41 left in this first half. Pamo just trying to find his way through. Prinsloo can't get the rebound, but it has always been picked up. There's a little bit of a hustle. This is surely going to win. Miller goes again, unchallenged. Big dunk, big score, big time.
Well, underhanded pass finds Miller, and he skies up again. We've seen that play 3 times, and just as effective every time he gets it done.
Yeah, and you can, when you see the replay, you're saying, which one is this? Which one is this? I mean, it's parrot-esque, isn't it?
It is parrot-esque, but it's a beautiful sight, especially if you are behind the team from Guinea-Conakry.
Mike Gunije to Prinsloo, but he loses possession. There's a chance here for Conde. Conde goes up. That is sensational. Untangles himself big time from the big man, Peter Prinsloo, to score another 2. It's 36-25.
Largest lead of the game, 11 points it is for SLAC.
Josh Hall, that's the response that Cape Town want. The Tigers have just sharpened their claws.
Only their second connection from long range. They've been very restricted in their shot selection from downtown.
Scramble in the paint, and it's been made safe by Pamo. Taken forward there, and a long-range shot this time. Hall can't sink it. The rebound's not good by Pamo either. Untangled there by Fofana into the hands of Conde. It's a wild pass over there. Still in possession though. Shot clock down to 10. And Miller again. I mean, he's an acrobatic, isn't he? A player. He loves to challenge himself by just slaloming between the bigs.
He's a tough cover, and he liked his matchup with Prinsloo. Here you get to see another look at just the defense from SLAC and how they convert turnovers into points. And here's Josh Hall on the other end, knocking down a 3. But they've been really good, and Miller likes the matchup. Miller working hard inside the paint.
Miller likes to work really hard.
I keep saying it's Miller time.
For the Cape Town Tigers. Number 1, UC back in for SLAC. One more shot.
37-28 and 3:10 left in this first half. And you can see that Miller is up to the charity line, looking to try and extend that advantage. And we know that he's in that very good position, trying to approach the 10-point tally. Of course, we've only got one player. Iroegbu is the only player in double figures. And he's up to 9, is that man Miller. Watched on by his coach.
He's been with SLAC since 2018, Miller. He understands the system, understands what Coach Zicevic is looking for, and he's a very important part of this team.
The College Park Skyhawks. Student from Nigeria, born in Sacramento, UC Iroegbu, just clicking the heels, of course, and giving the ball back to Cape Town. Tunisia gets the ball to Pamo. Shot clock down to 7. Look at that defensive game there. Really good work from Bearfield. Aduaite Iroegbu trying to find a way, doesn't find a way. Bearfield helping him out. He goes right through the middle. That is beautifully done. Draws the foul. Hall's at fault on this occasion.
I think what SLAC are doing a little bit better is they're finding matchups that work for them. That's a speed mismatch as Iroegbu gets by Josh Hall on the dribble and draws him into the foul, and they get a chance now back at the free throw line. They're creating mismatches and capitalizing. Iroegbu's got 10 points, and he's got a chance to continue to just build on that.
Got to the quarterfinals, of course, in 2022. SLAC made it to Rwanda. With Chris Crawford, who was one of the key players, of course, for SLAC last season. He's not around this season.
But Dane Miller Jr. was.
That's exactly right. Prinsloo. Hall. Selepe picks up the pass. Pamo. round. Oh, he just, there's a little bit of contact and a kind of like a shake of the head. You know, wasn't too happy with that call, Nwabuzor, but it's just enough. It's all about those, the small details.
If you're looking at individual battles so far, I think SLAC have won most of them, especially in isolation situations.
Kigali, he's been isolated out wide. Selepe's big shot going down, and that is a fantastic three-pointer. It reduces the arrears to 7 points. They needed that.
Yeah, it's a great ball movement. Finds Selepe wide open, and he makes the shot.
And Conde unable to hit the target. Down to Hall. Now they can make it a 5 or 4 point game if they can get points from this. Prinsloo. And there's the chance there with a long range. Oh, it's a big three-pointer as well. Coming from Mike Kigali.
Back-to-back threes, much needed for Cape Town Tigers as they show some signs of fight back here at Dr. Hassan Mustafa Hall. They're back within 4 points, and that's on the back of just really good perimeter shooting.
Well, just look at that. We can see it again. That was just sensational. Selepe, we know he's such a calm and collected man, isn't he, off the court? But on the court, you give him that little bit of time to get that shot. His range is impeccable.
And again, it's just the value of finding some comfort on the offensive end. They share the ball, find Selepe open, and then a nice read on the pick and roll. Benajay at the top of the key gives them a second three-pointer and back within 4 points. You see the margins and how difficult it is to hold on to a lead in the Basketball Africa League. The game never really is over.
No, that's true. And of course, Lebisa Selepe, he's such a smooth talker as well, isn't he? And as we see the president of the BAL, Amadou Gallo-Fall, of course, just in the front row watching on, and he must be such a proud man, of course, with what's been created since the first tip-off in season 1. Remarkable competition, a wonderful competition that really does showcase African basketball.
Revered and respected on the continent is Amadou Gallo-Fall, and he's always in attendance, just taking in the really fantastic action in this season 3 now conference. Only the second game. We've got so many more to come. It's only the second of 15 contests in this conference.
Yeah, who will join the other 4 teams who have qualified for the quarterfinals, for the finals? As we see another long-range shot. This time it doesn't fall for Bearfield. And a foul that's been committed, and this is problematic. I mean, it's just the second foul for Josh Hall, but he's got to be really careful. He was going for a three-point shot.
Fouls do matter, and this is probably an ideal outcome for Coach Zečević, just out of the timeout. They needed a score. He wanted some sort of offensive production, and just inside, they're in the penalties, so it's going to be 2 shots.
(38-34), and a chance to just reduce that. 1:29 left in this first half. Usher, I saw that you're hanging around, picking up details and information. I always like to say that you're spying, which is what you are doing, aren't you? But what did you get from that last timeout?
Well, just listening into the Guinean champions SLAC, just getting that good vibe around them, saying they need to stay focused. Of course, they were a little bit shaken by those back-to-back three-pointers from the Cape Town Tigers, but they know that they're still in this one. It's still 2 more quarters to play after this one, and they still have so much to offer on the floor.
Well, talking about on the floor, Peter Prinsloo just down on the ground. There's the defensive foul as Bearfield went on a bit of a wild dance through the paint.
Yeah, he managed to get a blow by on Selepe and a little bit out of position. Prinsloo, the foul gets called, and Bearfield showing the variety in his game and just how versatile he can be on the offensive end.
We got just 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining in the first half, of course. More changes taking place, and Well, we'll see how Cape Town react from this, but they'll be happy that they've managed to get those back-to-back three-pointers, because that's a game changer, you know.
Well, then they got to stay close and won't let the game get too far.
Made safe, made comfortably safe there by Mike Ibeniche. Goes on a wander in the paint, tries to score all himself. The rebound's not good, and they lose possession. Last touch coming off the fingers of a Cape Town player.
Well, very rarely do you see Mike Ibeniche make bad decisions with ball in hand. He just didn't get the finish. But the run of the mill, right, not going Cape Town's way at this point.
And a loss of possession, and the Tigers have it back in their hands. Ibeniche, Prinsloo, Ganapamo. His mid-range shooting has been outstanding, and he manages to get possession back. Ibeniche, shot clock down to 4 seconds. Ibeniche, Prinsloo with the rebound. Oh, he just took his eye off the ball for a fraction of a second, losing possession there. It's going to be SLAC who get ball back.
Yeah, they're just guilty of play, or over analyzing the play, or just anticipating too early. Peter Prinsloo should have picked up the ball and gone right back up, and instead the ball goes out.
The end of the first half, last few seconds, last chance for a shot. It comes in. It's just come off the metal, and it's all over in terms of the first half. And it's a 5-point difference between these two teams. There's still a lot of basketball to be played. It's anybody's game. And I think that with those back-to-back threes, we can see that Cape Town are very much here and in contention. It's SLAC 39, Cape Town Tigers 34. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. We are on the cusp of the second half here, in the second encounter in the third season of the BAL. It's the Nile Conference. We're on the banks of the Nile, the River Nile, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in this wonderful North African nation of Egypt, a fantastic country that is just completely immersed by civilization and dynasty and history and pyramids and the Valley of the Kings and Aswan down in the south. We're lucky to be here, and you know, it's a wonderful place to come and visit Egypt if ever you get the chance.
We certainly have been blessed by the land of the pharaohs, and what we have been blessed by as well has been some really great basketball action on the floor here at the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Arena. Two great teams that have worked their way into qualification, two former quarterfinalists doing battle, and we've got 20 more minutes of what should be a fascinating contest that remains. We've seen individual battles, we've seen the coaches try and set out the strategies, and what we have is 20 more minutes of intriguing chess match play between the two different franchises or clubs.
Absolutely, and let's hope that it becomes high-octane stuff for this third and fourth quarters. As I said, 5 points separating. There's not much in it, and there's a few tweaks here and there, and it's anybody's game, and I think that's what we've got to look at. It will be in the hands of Josh Hall as he gets this second half underway. Picked out by Mike Ibeniche.
Well, going with the starting lineup again, Coach Rashid has it in terms of the Cape Town Tigers. Same starting five back out on the floor.
And the charge into the paint from Josh Hall. He's a very, very active player. When he sees a boulevard open up, he is just the first to say, right, I'm going to go on a bit of a wander. And they get possession back with Selipe.
And only one change for Coach Zečević as Dumbaya comes in. That's, of course, because Mara's in a bit of foul trouble.
That's right, he's got 3. As Prinsloo goes down. Noah Buzor as well, the Nigerian. And Prinsloo, two fouls there. And Noah Buzor, 2 fouls as well. There's the dance into the paint and the charge. Prinsloo with a rebound, has the ball taken out of his hands. And he will go to the free throw line And I think it was Miller who will get the foul on that occasion, and that will be his second.
Well, Benajay struggles from the field, continue. That miss is picked up there on the offensive rebound by Peter Prinsloo, but 1 of 8, Mike Benajay so far, and he still just can't figure out, you know, his rhythm and his timing on the floor. But Peter Prinsloo, chance to go to the free throw line.
Ibrahim Doumbouya picked up the foul, from University of New Brunswick man, 39-34. Prinsloo looking to reduce the areas, just to make it a 4-point game, which is the ideal scenario. They want to score early points in the third quarter.
Only their third trip to the free throw line. That's a 3 of 6 now at 50% as a team.
Rashid Hazard, the 46-year-old, watches on. Here they are in possession, and the SLAC Warriors go into enemy territory. Nwabuzor unable to sink the three-pointer, made safe by Hall. Waits patiently for support, has it with Daman Gabinije. And Selepe with a chance for another three-pointer. Comes off the leg of Prinsloo. The rebound doesn't fall for Hall. Picked up by Bearfield. Bearfield runs into a bit of trouble. And he regains possession there, a little bit fortunate.
They just can't buy a bucket, Cape Town Tigers. They keep willing it in, but it's just not falling their way at this point.
Bearfield comes out to Doumbouya. Out wide to Miller. Miller waits for some movement. Trying to use that elbow grease, goes around, tries to get past Hall, comes back out, good opportunity here. Nwabuzor drops it into the hands, that's beautiful. Beautiful pass and a fine 2 points from Doumbouya.
Great offensive execution. Miller gets the double team, shifts the basketball, the extra pass inside. Doumbouya finishes at close range.
Hall, Selepe, traveling Hall going against Selepe. But just when they look like they're making inroads there, a little mistake there by Selepe, and they give the ball back to SLAC.
Cape Town Tigers actually picked up 1 point in that second quarter. It was 18-17 in their favor. So, you know, it's small margins, Robbie.
Yes, Q. Iruegbu is a charge. Doumbouya goes up, can't get his arm around and have that soft touch picked up by Gabinije. And here is Cape Town Tigers waiting for the right man in the right place. Ganapamo goes for the long-range three-pointer from downtown. Off the metal, Miller. Iruegbu talked about how dangerous he's being. Doumbouya, lots of time and space, doesn't get his range right, made safe at the underneath the basket by Hall, and taken forward there by the Nigerian Gabinije. Waits for the pass. Hall, 3 points, potentially. No, doesn't sink. 41-35, 7:18 left in the third.
Both teams just probing the perimeter, trying to find a touch from long range.
Mid-range two, and it's a beautiful score as well. Cedric Bearfield.
He's just so great when he gets a chance to shoot the jump shot, and that's just, again, great individual play from Bearfield.
Bearfield up to 8 points, closing in on Iruegbu for double figures. Benije, here he is, around the outside, shot clock down to 1 second, gotta go! Oh, it just doesn't come, it doesn't fall, and it's been made safe and taken forward. And of course it's Miller out to Bearfield. Bearfield goes for three, and again, it is that orange metal that gets in the way, Q.
Well, he walked away as though he had made it. He was very confident that it was falling in, but it comes off the front iron.
That is sumptuous play. And what a brilliant score that is from Evans Ganapamo, Central African Republic man, with a wonderful, silky, smooth touch.
Much needed score again.
Big drive, he does it again. Look at that, Miller. Little stare as well in the face of Prinsloo.
What you can do, I can do better. Miller finishes, and he goes to 11 points.
45-37, 8 points now. Need to get some points. Selepe out wide. Gibenije doesn't sink. Back off the metal. There's a little bit of acceleration here. End-to-end stuff taking place. Bearfield gets the ball out. We're finding a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of slipstream here, Q.
It's back and forth again, and here's the charts now. The Tigers have numbers.
Selepe goes up and tries to use the boards. Can't sink the basket. Doesn't get the points there, but the foul has been committed.
That was a great pass by Hall. Selepe went up, put his body in the front of the defender, but just couldn't get the finish. And here's another look at that breakdown from Ganapamo. He's just so athletic, he's got long arms, and is difficult to guard in a one-on-one situation.
Yeah, he's got his wingspan is just on par with that of a pterodactyl, apparently.
Pterodactyl?
The winged dinosaur from yesteryear.
I do know.
I mean, but I'm just saying that he's got a big wingspan. I think you caught that. Usher, where's Usher? Let's find out what's going on with it. Usher, 45-37. Very tight tussle out here between these two teams. Is this something we're going to expect from the two teams that are playing a little bit later on? Petra Rwanda and City Oilers Uganda.
Yes, absolutely. So much excitement. The teams have already arrived in the dressing rooms. They're preparing, and you can feel that it's going to be scintillating.
Scintillating. Love it. Thank you very much, Asha. That's good news. That's what we want to hear. It's back-to-back. It's a double-header. It's what we love about this BAL. Some big games, big nations.
And if we learned anything from the Sahara Conference is that every single game counts.
Pass comes back, and there's a chance once again. The Nigerian just drops it into the hands. Long-range shot over the top from Mara. Mara can't get the point. Shot clock down to 0. A little bit of frustration there. And you can see that Mara's come on, despite the fact that he's on 3 fouls.
Well, with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, just a little bit of a gamble and really important moment here. Zaire Wade also checks in for the Tigers.
That's a good drive and a beautiful score. That is fantastic there from Zaire Wade. And you know what? You know, we haven't really talked too much about him, but you know, he wants to create his own path in his own career. But a very talented player, of course, the oldest child of Dwayne Wade, of course, the 3-time NBA champion with Miami. Chicago-born, played in the G League in Salt Lake. He's got experience, but he's still very young. We'll talk about him after this small break. 45-39, we'll be back. Yes, we're back here in Cairo. Yes, we're back here for this third quarter, 45-39. SLAC of Guinea-Conakry, West African nation. Beautiful nation, beautiful people, good rhythm, wonderful music up against Cape Town Tigers, the wonderful South Africa. Your country, Q.
Yes, my country indeed. Beautiful city, Cape Town. And there is a lot of pressure on both these teams on the floor.
And there is Wade, and Wade adds to his scoreline. He's now got 5 points in his first outing in the BAL, picked up by Bearfield. Bearfield's first BAL as well. Long pass out wide, nearly taken away by Ganapamo. Bearfield gets another chance, and there's this shot. It just doesn't fall. Made safe. 2 players defending the fortress at the back. Wade takes it up.
Well, second time we've seen Bearfield miss from the left-hand side of the floor. And rare misses because he's been locked in since tip-off.
Gibenije. Ganapamo makes a bit of space. The shot is just a little bit short. Just getting in the way and making life complicated for him. Emeka Nwabuzor.
Well, both Benije and Ganapamo have struggled just a little bit from the field. That's 3 of 10 now. He's shooting at a 30%, Evans Ganapamo. He's been well guarded on the defensive end.
Conde's come back onto the floor. Miller waits, makes the pass, swinging it around. Bearfield trying to find his opportunity. That's a beautiful block. stay away, get out of my house.
That is such great defense from Benajay. Timing and just poise and balance. Oh!
Magnificent dunk, look at that. Coming straight in, straight down the corridor. Hall does the business.
Hall opening up the lane, and the first poster of this BAL series, courtesy of Josh Hall.
Oh, a wild pass, and they've been marginally rattled. Miller trying to chuck the ball out into the corner to pick up by Nwabazor, but just look at that. And it all came from that.
All comes from defense. Hall goes up, and in between two defenders, flush it down with two hands.
Wade going out wide, and a long-range shot that doesn't fall. You can see that they've just intensified the pace. It's a three-point game, and so much at stake now.
Well, intensity definitely increased, and what is evident, Robbie? Both teams are starting to play with a little bit more comfort on the offensive end. I did say it would open up in the second half, but we're starting to see it, and we're starting to see a little bit more of the identity of both of these teams.
Ganapamo, third foul after trying to retrieve possession with that play. Miller picks the ball up, and 3 minutes left on the clock in the third, and this is starting to intensify in a big way. Iroegbu tries to drop one in, it doesn't happen. The quick ball going up, caught, and a chance. Hall goes again, unable to sink it, just not getting that little touch at the end. Hall dispossessed. Was there contact? It looks like there was.
Or maybe fortunate that there was some contact, because SLAC had some numbers going up the floor. So in the turn of events, it just turns out in favor of Cape Town Tigers.
45-42. 2:43. Usher, can we go over to you and just pick your brains and just understand what's going on, because I think that you're just behind where the Cape Town Tigers are.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a bit of worry there for Hall to have 3 fouls at this point in the game. Ganapamo as well has 3 fouls. Those are 2 very important key players for the Cape Town Tigers. They just want, you know, Hall to get a breather. He's on the bench now. Let's see how the team reacts going forward.
Thank you for the updates there regarding Josh Hall. Give him a break, give him a breather. Bide your time, don't get him rushed. The adrenaline's running big time. Wade gets the ball out. It's good swing play with the shot coming in from that man, Ganapamo, but it doesn't fall.
Oh, Miller trying to make another statement, but again, he likes the matchups against bigger guys, because his foot speed is quite deceptive. He can blow by, and he forces a foul out of Sibanyoni.
And there is just going around outside, inside, but the foul committed, of course, and picked up here with Cedric Bearfield. Bearfield trying to get rid of Ganapamo. Ball comes out, that man at Nwabuzor. Chance for Bearfield going up, and it doesn't go down. Oh, he's down on the ground. This is not good for Bearfield. Just there's a monster dunk at the other end there from Sam Kosele, and it's 45-44. But more important, Cedric Bearfield just down in front of us here, and he just fell over Evans Ganapamo, and that's where it was, Q. And let's just hope that it's not serious.
Yeah, never nice to see a player go down. It's just not a favorable scenario, especially one as important as Bearfield. Opened up the scoring with his perimeter shooting, and you've just seen him go off the boil a little bit on the perimeter. Let's see if we can pick up what happened. Just top of screen.
He clattered into Ganapamo, and that was what happened, I think. And then afterwards just came down, but I think it was just an awkward bit of contact. Anyway, he's right in front of us, so we're hoping that he's going to be okay. That's the most important thing about this. Back up on his feet. This is good news, Cedric Bearfield. But he is limping and he's walking off. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He's been such an important player for SLAC Warriors, as we see that it's 45-44. He gets helped off the court get some treatment, and we'll see how he is. Fingers crossed that he's going to be okay, and he's going to go probably, yeah, he's just sat down on the bench there, and I think that Usher will be giving us an update in a couple of moments' time.
Bearfield, 8 points he has on 3 of 9 shooting, and they'll want to see him come back in for sure. Hopefully, it's not a serious injury.
SLAC still ahead. Still ahead. Oh, a little trip. And the leg came out, and the foul going against Sibranyoni, I think. Just the outstretched left. No, it's not. Sorry, I do apologize. I think this is a Wade, isn't it?
Yeah, Wade picks up the foul call on that one.
And that is, I think, foul number 3 for Zaya Wade.
And another SLAC player goes down. It's Iroegbo, who's just slow to rise and is holding the back of his neck. 2 SLAC players just been in the wars. They are 2 primary offensive players, but Iroegbo gets up and he seems to be all good.
On the other front, we're going to go over in a couple of moments' time, but it's just let's 45-44. That's the good news there. They'll get possession back. It's Miller who will get his hands on the ball. They go again, 124. It'll be important for SLAC to just try and keep ahead. It'll be a psychological advantage if the Tigers manage to just go on the prowl and get themselves key points. Picked up there, and a very good rebound coming in from Conde.
That's a big rebound from Conde, especially in the context of the game. And that's an important score for SLAC.
And we'll be able to go across to Usher. What's the update on Cedric Bearfield?
Yeah, just speaking to Bearfield, someone, you know, literally put a lot of weight on his left knee. There's ice that's been applied on the knee, and we'll see if he can come back into this game. It's not necessarily looking good, but fingers crossed. The SLAC medical team is still attending to him. I'll keep you updated, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. It was Evans Ganapamo who actually just who fell on top of him marginally and then got back off, and yeah, it was hopefully he's going to be okay. Bearfield, thanks Usher. To the free throw line we go, and we have that man Ganapamo.
Well, it's been a very low scoring quarter as far as offensive output is concerned. 8-10 the score in favor of Cape Town. It's been a defensively orientated quarter. Free throws definitely important, and you just see the struggles from Ganapamo from the field. He's 3 of 11.
Ganapamo 47-45 picks up here, taken for Iroegbo down into the corner. And a chance for Fana, and he's just trod on the wrong side of the line. And just giving possession back. This is a big moment for the Tigers, because they could potentially level up or go ahead, depending on the size of the score.
14th turnover for SLAC.
And Zaya Wade is the player who takes it up. Ganapamo, just a little churn, and it's a nice, neat jump shot from mid-range, just inside of the paint there. And 2 points, and we're all level, 47 points apiece.
What a big score from Ganapamo, finessing on that turnaround jump shot. It's a big-time play.
That was laced with panache. Miller out wide and picked up by Iroegbo. He goes for the jump shot, comes back out. They have possession. He made sure that was going nowhere else, but staying in his hands. Sele takes the ball up into enemy territory. Can they get themselves the points that will see them move ahead? Ganapamo comes off the metal. They still have possession. It's been picked up out wide, and it's Wade who goes for the shot. The shot clock down to 0, but also the quarter down to 0. And we finish all square going into the final quarter. 47 points each. It is SLAC level with Cape Town Tigers. Yeah, welcome back to the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall, Cairo, banks of the Nile, pyramids in the background, this wonderful hall where this battle's taking place here. And how about this? We are entering Well, the business ends, game summary, we're all level at 47 points each.
It's amazing how the stats have leveled out when you look at field goal percentage, 38 plays 35. We just saw a defensively orientated third quarter, 4 of 17 from the three-point line there, dead even. And one thing that I think will concern both coaches are the amount of assists that they've had, amount of assisted plays. Only 7 and 5. Ball distribution hasn't really been of the highest caliber, but we have seen some really great individual play and in patches throughout this game. SLAC led by as much as 11 points throughout this one, Robbie. Cape Town Tigers have done well to fight back, but we have 10 more minutes of fascinating basketball ahead.
And the Cape Town Tigers, they've led with 2 minutes and 18 seconds, whereas it's been 24 minutes in the lead for SLAC. So anybody's game, it really is, and this is making it a very entertaining final quarter as we see Conde go up. It doesn't fall, and it's made safe, and Wade takes it up. Wade, oh, it's just been intercepted. Up they got possession, the battle, the scramble. Everybody wants to get their hands on the ball. Miller makes it safe.
The cliche is possession by possession, and it'll be for both these teams something that they will be very cognizant of.
And Nwabazor in possession, he's been outstanding, goes for the layup, there's a block, and it's a good block, no foul, nothing. Look at that pass from Wade, sensational stuff, and it looks like Fofana has committed the foul just as he was going up to try and score.
Well, again, from the defensive end, it comes great work from Wade, and the pass is thread on a needle into the path of Ganapamo, and it gives him a chance at the free throw line.
Gives us a chance to talk to Usher too. Usher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Barefield's situation, does he look like he's going to be coming back on?
Yes, absolutely. It's just great recovery from him. SLAC have needed him in this game away from what we see on the scoreboard. But just really, he's a great team player. He's shown a lot of leadership in this game so far, and they'll need him for the rest of the tournament.
No, absolutely. And the thing is that, you know, SLAC, they will fight. They're called the Warriors for a reason, and they'll want to come into each and every game and just fight in the way that they possibly can, because they've got a coach who likes to fight. We've seen that in the past. He's got a pretty good record in Africa as well in the past decade, playing coaching some big teams. US Monastir, of course, the Egyptian national team, as we see a stunning layup there from that man Fofana.
Again, great execution, nice offensive play. One of the few where we've seen just in rhythm where the defense has not been able to disrupt the offense.
Here is Hall. Hall's been standing out from the crowd, 9 points, trying to go for double figures. And there's another foul, and it looks like it's Fofana who's picked up another quick successive foul.
Well, giving up an inch or two to Josh Hall, and in that isolation situation, Hall just using his size to pick up the foul.
Isolation situation. Say that 6 times in a row and call it alliteration. Here we go with Wade to Hall. Ganapamo makes it. That's a really beautiful pass, but the defense that came in, of course, made it really quite complicated. Sibagnoni was the player who was going to take that and try and deliver, goes to the free throw line.
You look at the quality of the pass from Ganapamo, and just really heads-up play on the defensive end. Conde did well to contest and just turn around and make Sibagnoni go and earn the 2 points from the charity stripe.
Now look at what we can see there. I see a 3-0 up on the board, and it means that there's the 3rd team foul in Cape Town with 0. This is the final quarter. These are key moments. Discipline is going to be important, of course, as we go towards the final buzzer in such a very intense battle between these two teams.
Details matter, and Sibagnoni making 2 important free throws for the Tigers.
Conde Miller has the ball out wide, and again, that's the 2nd mistake down this left-hand side, and it's Nwabuzor just treading on the paint.
That's the most frustrating turnovers as far as coaches are concerned. Just a step out on the sideline, an unnecessary, unforced turnover.
Wade Hall picked up and taken forward by Sele to Hall. Waits for a little bit of movement, waits to try and shift his body and make that turn. Again, there's another foul that's been committed, and this time it's Iroegbu who picks up his 4th.
They found the size mismatch in the offense, allowing Hall to go to work on Iroegbu. Very little he could do with that size mismatch, and he gets drawn into the foul.
It's the right arm, the right hand that just got in the way, and that's all it took. Hall will go up to the free throw line, and all of a sudden, things are actually working in their favor, because, do you remember the first half? They hardly ever went up to the free throw line.
They did not go to the free throw line at any frequency in the first half. 4th team foul for this SLAC team, and 4 fouls on Iroegbu.
And I always see, you know, Asha's absolutely everywhere. I'm surprised she didn't get to the free throw line, but she is somewhere. I think you're just behind. You're right behind Coach Zeljko Zečević.
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting so much insight from how he's feeling in this game. It's very tense, and he's a little bit animated.
Which is totally normal, because that's just the way, that's his character. He's a wonderful person and a very passionate coach as well. He won't be happy with this turnaround. We've got a 3-point lead for Tigers, and the Tigers just not scoring on that possession. Miller goes again, and that's a beautiful layup. The way that he does it, he just knows how to shift his body, gets the arms up, the hands, and make sure that it sinks.
Only his 2nd field goal in the 2nd half, but it's so important. Miller, another 2 points, he takes his total up to 13.
Hall, nice pass. Oh, look at that. Get it out of there. And the foul just at a time where they were actually dealing with the business. That was very much great protection, but then the final foul, you can see there, Q.
Oh, just great hustle on the defensive end. There's nothing easy on either side of the floor. And another look at the work of Miller. It goes into the hop step and just slides by the defense for the layup. It's end-to-end stuff here at the Dr. Hassan Mustafa Arena.
I'm glad you said it properly. 51-52, SLAC. Trail by a point. The Tigers are ahead. And we got a commercial break here. We'll take a small break. Welcome back, and 7 minutes to go before we find out who will be victorious here between SLAC and Cape Town Tigers. 24 minutes in the lead for SLAC, and then all of a sudden Cape Town Tigers chew back, reel in the team from Guinea-Conakry and find themselves a point ahead, with a chance to try and sink a couple more points here with Wade, who goes to the free throw line.
Well, the situation does not favor SLAC at the moment. They are in the penalty, and there's still 7 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. It means that every single foul committed, Cape Town Tigers can get a chance to go to the free throw line. It might temper their regression on the defensive end, and it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make on the floor with regards to the foul situation.
And it'll be interesting to see how Rashid Hazard participates in the final few minutes. He's been very calm and collected, sat down, observing, watching, communicating marginally, but just, you know, getting a feel of the BAL for his first outing as a coach in this wonderful competition. Ball goes out wide, picked up by Miller. Miller's, of course, been the pivot, you know, the very important cog in this SLAC wheel, as a long-range three-pointer doesn't fall for that man, Nwabuzor. Oh, it's in! Easy, easy, easy. But what about that pass? Sibanyoni doing the business. The pass was beautiful.
Oh, what a dime. And what a fantastic pass for the easy 2 points. I don't think Sibanyoni will score an easier 2 in the BAL.
Fofana. Nwabuzor comes back out. Miller likes to go through, loves the challenge, doesn't get his points, but he does draw the foul.
Well, Miller doesn't like to shoot the 3-ball, and he draws and baits the offensive player into jumping, gets inside, and is able to draw the foul. They need a little bit more of this kind of play, and that's a thread pass. What a beautiful pass from Wade. Finds Sibanyoni wide open.
And that's something we got to look at, because, you know, his passing game, you know, could prove to be very, very important. Just in the final few minutes here for the Tigers, of course, you know, when you've got the tired legs that start to sort of, you know, and the tired minds, all you know, a lapse in concentration, and someone with a sharp pass like that can turn things around.
You need someone who's willing to distribute the basketball on a team that is full of scorers. And Wade comes in as a pass-first point guard, and he's showing you just why he's framed that way.
53-56, 3 points separating these two teams. And it's going to go down to the wire, I think. Wade gets the ball out to Hall, Hall to Ganaparo. Back to Wade, Wade, Hall. Good movement off the ball. Hall goes up, sensational, hang in the air, fingertips, smooth touch, in she goes.
Strong, strong take as this guy's up over the defense, and now he's got the scoring lead with 12 points for the Tigers.
Miller, Egbu, under a bit of pressure. Miller loves to, he's wriggly, and he's trying to find his range. It's been picked up, taken down. Here's Sele goes himself. Oh, just stop it. Miller with the swat.
Oh, that was really fantastic defense from Miller coming across on the chase down block. Sele just tried to lay it up, but that is fantastic defense. It's amazing recovery. Wow, what great defense.
The wow factor is there. Miller stands out from the crowd. You know, he's very much part of this team, this SLAC team, the Warriors. I mean, he showed off his fantastic offensive game, but on that occasion, right time, right place to just get rid of that. You know, it's one of those get out of my house moves.
He's got such a motor. He's been on the floor the entire time for this contest, has not rested, and that play just, it's amazing. It's so honestly good. Amazing.
But, you know, the fact is that it's a 53-60 point, game at the moment, so the situation doesn't, it's not going to be, it's tight. But SLAC won't like the fact that they've moved 7 points ahead, because the tables have turned marginally.
Especially not with the foul situation on the floor. It's going to be very difficult for them to control and also increase the intensity of their defense. They can try and be aggressive, but any call that goes against them sends the Cape Town Tigers to the free throw line. And right now it's in the interest of the Cape Town Tigers to be aggressive offensively, but be smart about how they channel that aggression.
Here I know someone else who's very difficult to control. She's over on the other side of the court. Her name is Usher. Usher, tell us what's been going on. What have they been talking about?
Well, you talk about control. Coach Hazard has given very serious instructions to the Cape Town Tigers. They need to attack the basket and maintain this lead in this remaining 5 minutes, 23 seconds on the clock. They know that SLAC are in the red. Every time they foul, the Cape Town Tigers will go to the line. They want to milk that in the remaining time in this game.
Now, you can see that Miller got hit in the head accidentally by Josh Hall. The arm came up, and that's 4 fouls for Josh Hall as we enter the final 5:23. It was purely accidental. There were so many players in the space of 2 square centimeters that, the arm came up to try and block and protect, and there was contact.
It happened really quickly, and so now that 4th foul is going to be rescinded, and it's going to be credited to Siba Nyoni, who's going to pick up the foul. And that was an important moment in the game for the Tigers.
Big time. And that was well looked at by the officials, of course. And it's been picked up by Fofana. SLAC trail by 7 into the paint. The pass goes, and it's an opportunity here for Condé. Oh my word, Miller, man, wow!
What an amazing dunk. It's the defensive side, and he's now spearheading the offense with just another poster of his own.
Hey, he'll be refereeing next time we see him. What's going on? Miller goes up again. Miller with a layup, can't get it. The scramble, the battle, and there it is. It's there for the taking. And good battling on the ground there from Zaire Wade as well to make sure that it is Cape Town who get possession. 5-point game. Tigers get the ball back.
2 heavyweight boxes going at it. Look at Miller get up and throw it down on the Tigers inside the paint.
Wow.
Say it with your chest.
Serious stuff taking place here now tonight, here in Cairo. They go again. Wade, mid-range jump shot. It's a beautiful score as well. Moves up to 9 points.
Another good read from Wade. He finds some space, goes to the mid-range jump shot, and it's good.
Iroegbu. Oh. That is a mistake. You can see the Iroegbu just trying to get the ball out wide to his fellow Nigerian, Nwabuzor, who saw it whiz past him underneath his nose. Wade wasn't ready for that.
And that's what pressure can do sometimes. It can cause unforced errors, and that's not going to be good for Coach Zečević nor the SLAC Warriors as a timeout is called on the floor.
55-62, a 6-point advantage. And yeah, the fact that Hall doesn't have that 4th foul is a blessing just from what he's been putting in. But honestly, we need to underline the importance of that man, Dane Miller Jr., because incredibly talented player. He could call himself, you know, a representative of Guinea. He's been in the country for such a long time.
He's just been outstanding. 17 points, 60% from the field, 5 of 6 free throws. He's got 9 rebounds to go along with 5 steals, and he's just filling up the stat sheet is Miller. And that amazing chase down block, he's just been fantastic.
Sensational. We're going to hear from Usher, because now is the time where there's some really interesting chit-chat that's going on. I just want to hear from Usher because I like the way that she talks. Usher.
Very nice of you, Robbie. Well, just listening into Coach Jelko, he's just given strict instructions to SLAC to make sure that they pass that ball around, use the clock to their own benefit. And they know that the Cape Town Tigers have the momentum right now. They want to break that, but first of all, play good defense.
Play good defense is going to be key. Your offensive game is built from a good defense, of course. And I think that it's interesting to see Rashid Hazard is also, you know, up on his feet now, and you know, getting more into this, because he can see that it's now time, isn't it? Hall loses possession. Excellent work there to just dispossess Conde. Fofana gets the ball out wide. Iroegbu. There's Miller. Miller waits. Pass. Nice pass as well, Conde. And it goes up, but there is contact. This time, I think Hall does get his 4th foul.
It's just so tough to score inside the paint against SLAC. That was sharp hands, and then they come back on the other end and are able to, again, convert the possession into either a free throw or a field goal, and they go to the free throw line. Yeah, but look, again, on the inside, Nwabuzor goes up against the trees, and he comes away with the foul.
And the first is good. Communication time. He's really taking his time to give that right advice. Of course, Rashid Hazard, the American coach, working with Flosh Ngwenya.
Still an eternity left in this one.
So much time, 4 minutes, 57-62. It's a 5-point game. Wade, Tigers with Hall going in on trying to go through the defense. Hasn't been easy. Picks up, Conde can't take the pass. They get possession back. Contacts, and I think it came off the leg of Wade, I think.
I think Wade just got the last touch on it, and so they are going to keep the possession with SLAC, but still good work to deny the layup on the inside.
What, snatched out of the sky by Evans Ganapamo, Central African Republic. National team player. Wade goes down into the corner. Take your time, use your time. Ganapamo! Oh, the rebound's not good. It doesn't fall for Sibanyoni. And a chance here for SLAC. Miller picks it up. Waits for support. Iroegbu. Oh, he sees that it's opened up. Goes for a layup. Can't get it off the glass. Back to Nwabuzor, and the shot clock down to 8 seconds now. Good drive. The drive. He's just so emphatic when he goes on that drive. Miller is outrageously strong as well, isn't he?
Well, they've given up 10 offensive rebounds, the Cape Town Tigers, and it's almost turned into the second chance point there, and it's hurting them down the stretch here. Another look at just the strength on the inside of Miller. Couldn't get the finish, but here he gets a chance to go back to the free throw line. 5 of 6 he has been this evening. And
And it looks like Sibagnoni's played his last play. I think he's on 5 fouls now.
That is his 5th foul, and he's going to be his final contribution for this team. 6 points for Sibagnoni.
Peter Prinsloo coming on for the final 3 minutes. Obviously need a big guy to come in and just to try and stall what SLAC are doing, because they're fighting. I mean, you know, they're called the Warriors. That's exactly what they're doing. They're playing with a lot of aggression here now.
They need a rebounding presence. They need someone to control the defensive glass.
Well, laser shooting from Miller. He's been outstanding, and he just knocks it down to just continue his tally. He's up to 18 now. It's a 4-point game.
Well, the discussion here is around Miller, and I think it's that there was a substitution that occurred, and there's some blood on his arm.
Yeah,
there's an open wound, and they want to sub him out.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, he's just been replaced by Mara, who's come on, of course, and who scores the second free throw shot, and he'll probably just want to come straight back on because there's 3 minutes left, and he's their key player. Mara coming on for the last with 3 minutes left to play. Wade
makes a big free throw.
No, that was a big shot. Doesn't score. The twisting, turning giant Evans Ganapamo doesn't sink, but he will go to the free throw line because there are 5 fouls, and he went up for the shot, and we're just waiting to see if Miller comes back on, and he's got a cut finger, and he's absolutely livid.
Well, Ganapamo there, just inside, pirouetting, picking up the foul, and that's the difficulty here for SLAC. Every single foul committed means a trip to the free throw line, and Cape Town Tigers have to hold their nerve and knock down big free throws.
Ganapamo just not knocking down that free throw, as you mentioned. Miller comes back on. Desperately needed, of course. Mara goes back to the bench.
Well, that was probably the only way you were going to get Miller off this court at this point.
Yeah, that's true, you know. Yeah. And Iroegbu, 5 personal fouls. Steps aside, so Mara comes back in.
And that might be a very big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Bearfield, of course, went off with that injury. Now Iroegbu's off with 5 fouls. Miller went off for a moment, but he had cover, of course, with Mara. 2:33, it's a 4-point game, and a long-range shot coming in. Oh, a delight to the eye. Emeka Nwabuzor with a 3-pointer.
Big-time players make big-time plays, and that's a really big shot by Nwabuzor.
Hall tries to go through. Oh, he can't use the glass to get the back, to get the shot in, and Miller gets the ball out wide. It's been picked up by Mara. Mara goes into the paint. Conde, and is that another foul? But I think it's an offensive foul, so we are seeing Cape Town pick up possession. 2 points separating them, and they lose possession there. This is crazy.
Every second counts, every possession counts. This is where we get to see just how good these players are under pressure.
An important 3-pointer as well, going in, dropped in by Mike Ebeneze.
Right open in the corner, another great find by Wade. Sees Ebeneze make a wide open 3-pointer.
Passing skills from Wade, very important, of course, as we've seen. And this is Miller. Miller just does what he does, what he's been doing all game. He's up to 20.
Unstoppable. And his motor is almost does not stop.
3 points, and in possession, Wade. Nothing separates these two teams, absolutely nothing. Here's Ganapamo. Ganapamo has the ball knocked out of his hands. There is contact, and it is another foul going against Nwabuzor, and that's his fourth.
Tough individual cover again. Ganapamo, it's his ability to elevate, and the ball comes out of his hands. And it's, again, interpretation nonetheless, but Nwabuzor is going to pick up his fourth personal and another chance at the charity stripe. Ganapamo has to hold his nerve and his mental at the free throw line. These are big free throws once again.
Yeah, but Ganapamo just is the athleticism, his ability to arc his body, you know, when he shoots, when he just lets go. He basically teases the defense every single time, and they get drawn in. Provocation, but it just comes from great athleticism. 1:24 left.
Misses the first.
Second is good, 4 points. 1:24, as I said, I'll keep on mentioning the time. You can see that Rashid Hazard relishing money time here at the end of this first encounter for these two teams. Miller gets his pass in Conde, and it's been made safe, but there might be contact. And I think there is, and they'll go to the free throw line. Frustration, I think it's Wade, isn't it?
Wade does pick up the foul, and there's a timeout call. Looks like there is a timeout call. The signal was that from the floor.
It is actually a technical foul on Jelko, the coach of SLAC.
Thank you for that, Usher.
That's great, thank you. There's so much going on here, Usher, that obviously, you know, with an extra set of eyes, vital eyes, you basically called it. Thank you. And look where Kabinije is now. He's at the free throw line. He's in a perfect situation to try and get those points. But
again, that's a big miss from Binije.
And he knows it.
Well,
just trying to understand what's happening over here. It's another technical, isn't it? Because of what Zeljko Zečević, and he's been asked to leave the arena. Second technical call.
Technical, and you heard him cry out from the sideline. He's obviously unhappy, and this time Ganapamo going to go to free throw line. But this is huge. Coach gone out the game in the final 1:11.
And he knocks it down, Ganapamo, and there you have it. It's 5 points now with 1:11, as you mentioned. Wade picks up his third foul. It's not really that important with what time is on the clock. And then we go back to Conde's free throw shot, of course, from the original incident. So, I mean, we couldn't have asked for more drama today.
You really can't write scripts like this at all.
Quite incredible. Conde will need to be calm and collected. Such an important shot. First one falls. Now let's see if he can get the second to make it a 3-point game.
Want to keep it within one possession. Important free throws here for Conde. Free throw for Conde.
And he sinks it, and it's a perfectly executed second shot as well. It is 3 points. As I said, 1 minute, 5 seconds left on the clock. Picked up by Kabinije. Here is Wade. Wade to Ganapamo. Every possession is going to be important. Wade, big shot here. Doesn't go. Is the tip in any good? Prinsloo! Oh. Big score for Peter Prinsloo. The man of the moment, potentially, for the Cape Town Tigers.
That is a very pivotal moment. It falls into the hands of Prinsloo on the rebound. He keeps his composure through the contact to make the score.
And draws the foul.
Well, you see how much it means to Peter Prinsloo. You know how much it means to the Tigers, but there's still 49 seconds. There's a lot of time left. And once again, how he can hold his composure at the free throw line will matter.
He's the captain of the Cape Town Tigers, the 31-year-old. He's traveled around the world. He's been pretty much everywhere, and you know, but he's Afro-basket as well. And now he finds himself in a key position, sinks that point, a very important point now. It's a 6-point game.
Important possession for the SLAC Warriors.
Miller goes again. This time it doesn't fall. And Ganapamo knows that this is going to be important to keep possession, use the clock, be smart about this. Wade picks it up, swings it out wide to Hall. Hall is going to just hold the horses. And the foul's been committed by Condé. And that's foul number 4 for Condé. And I think that Rashid Hazard sits back. No, he's still up on his feet, and he's still making those calls, making those, giving the advice. Hall goes to the free throw line because of that foul.
Condé picks up 4. I thought maybe that foul should have come just a little bit earlier, and this is the value of having your head coach on the side and just looking at the amount of time, because they want to maximize whatever time is left on the floor here. Hall missing the free throw, but management, clock management important, and so just also game situation recognition important.
Hall goes up, the shot's good as well, and now 66-73. Frustration for SLAC, who led for more than 24 minutes, now find themselves in a different scenario. Is that, I think that might be Prinsloo who commits the foul, just moving his body marginally just to get in the way.
And this is where body position is so important. He was in the right place, but needed to just absorb the contact, stay upright, but he was just leaning forward, and the referee right there to make the call. And more importantly, the clock stops for these 2 free throws.
Miller misses the first. It's on 20 points. And the second doesn't happen, but oh, look at that for a rebound. Fantastic from that man, Dumboya. And just waiting.
Somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somehow he just managed to slither in there, Dumboya. That's an important one, but so little time left.
Last few seconds. And the foul being committed by Miller. And that's his second foul. He's been super well disciplined, but super effective in both ends of the court, of course. Just on that occasion, he obviously knew that he could throw himself in there, but the problem is that Hall goes up to the free throw line.
For someone with active hands like Miller, it's amazing that he's able to keep himself out of foul trouble. And these, again, important. Hall's got to make free throws.
Cobra fast hands. I'm not going to make the sound, I promise you that, Q. I promise you. 8.9 seconds remaining, 68-74. It's now 75. And that should be enough to take Cape Town Tigers to their first victory. It's an unassailable lead, really, if you think about it. 3 seconds, unable to do anything. Ganapamo holds the ball, and that's the end of it. And it's a victory for Rashid Hazard and Flosh Nguenya and Cape Town Tigers. A victory, a hard-fought victory for the Cape Town Tigers, who get off the ground. And that's a perfect start, but what a battle that was for them to get through it. 68-75, the final score.
Well, they had to battle so hard for their win. A nice show of character. 11 points down they were. At some point throughout this, the SLAC had led for large periods of this game for just as much as 24 minutes. And for the Cape Town Tigers, they were tried and they were tested, and they managed to come through this one. There's lots that both teams can work on as far as the first performance, opening performance in the Now Conference. And it will be interesting to see how they recover from, or how SLAC recovers from their coach being ejected from this one.
All right, let's catch up with us, who's joined by Samkelo Sele of the Cape Town Tigers.
Well, thank you so much, Robbie. Sele, big performance from you individually, 11 points off the bench, 5 rebounds. How important was it for you to win this game today?
It was very important. You know, like seeing that it was our first, game, and we dug it out. It wasn't a clean one, but we got away with it.
Yeah, South African champions. Limiting SLAC to 8 points in that third quarter. How big of defense was that for you today?
It was super important, because everything we could have did offensively, we were capable, but, defensively is what we needed to do. And, Coach told us at halftime we got to dig deep and, get stops, and that's what we did.
Huge smile on your face. You have one game, one victory. What sort of attitude do you have going forward in the tournament?
Oh, well, man, I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. This was my first professional game, and to come out the way we did, I'm very proud of our guys, and we got a lot more work to do. We need to play together. We need to, learn each other's habits a little bit more as we're going forward. But, I'm very happy with our, our first game today and our first victory.
And lastly, what sort of message do you have for the fans back home in South Africa?
Just keep hanging with us, keep hanging with us, keep supporting us, and yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sele, and congratulations, all the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
All right, Robbie, back to you.
Thank you, Asher. Let's go back to, let's take a look at Sele and what he produced out here today. 100% three-point department, the steals, field goal percentage, points 11. Good all-round performance.
Well, good all-round performance. One of 3 Cape Town Tigers players in double figures, but we spoke about it. It's the value of scoring off the bench and just how important that was. But Cape Town Tigers as a team displaying character. Evans Ganapamo will be happy. Coach Has will be happy. So will Flosh and Gwenya. And more importantly, I think the city of Cape Town in South Africa and South Africans in general will be proud of the fact that they were able to come away with the win. On the other side, Dane Miller Jr. really the outstanding performance on the day for SLAC. They had 4 players in double figures. There's lots that they can build on, and we know that the Nile Conference still has many chapters to unfold.
Yeah, no, it's just the final game stats here. You can see a 7-point difference, but 24 minutes they were ahead, and then all of a sudden it got turned around. The scenario changed, and the Tigers roared back into contention and showed us that they've got that bite, that they've got that fight to continue and try and find their place in the quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the team comparison. Some of the key players out here. We talked about Miller. We know what he did. That was extraordinary. Let's have a look on the other side and the Tigers and what Hall did. Well,
Hall had 15 points and 8 rebounds. Ganapamo 15 and 7, and they led the way from a scoring perspective. There was 2 double-doubles on the side of SLAC because 20 and 12 and 11 and 12. Conde was really influential. And those were their 2 best defensive players. And what we have seen is 2 teams that were well matched, and you understand just the detail that it takes in order to pick up a win. Zaire Wade, his 9 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds off the bench as well was standout. He really did a great job coming in, distributing, helping the Cape Town offense get into their motion and their rhythm. And Peter Prinsloo, of course, he chipped in at the end with his 8 points.
Yeah, fantastic. That was just an exceptional comeback. And I think that, that's what we like to see here at the BAL. We understand exactly what's happening. And, we can tell you that there's always surprises and drama. SLAC won't be happy with that. And you're guaranteed that Coach Zelko Zetrovic will be going back into the think tank to try and find ways of beating some of the other teams. Petro Luanda up next against the City Oilers, debutantes in the BAL for Season 3. Bayer up against Petro tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, and the City Oilers play Ahly, the hosts. A remarkable evening that's only just started. Congratulations to the Tigers. We'll see SLAC very soon. And we're going to say goodbye for now. Thanks, Q, Usher, and the team. We'll be back with more basketball from the BAL a little bit later. Don't go away. Thank you for watching.